Hello, it is Tuesday. I am here with kind of the fit check. Listen, it's not much, but it's an honest living here. No, I'm just kidding. I do not get paid for these fit checks. So today I'm keeping it really simple right now because, you know, I'm a shelf cooker, so I got to cook what's in my shelf. And so I forgot that I had some crackers and like, you know, they're like some white, I believe they are white cheddar crackers. I forgot all about them, you guys. I don't even know what I was thinking. I put them away. I only have like this much left. So, it's, you know, it's kind of snacky, whatever. But I thought, you know what? I don't have any panko crumbs. And, you know, why not, as I come over here to like figure out how I'm going to do this, if I want it to be kind of savory. So I'll do it with some lemon pepper, a little bit of garlic and herb seasonings. So that's kind of what we'll do. But also what I've done before, when I've done like my impromptu cracker or panko by way of crackers, I've actually used basil and a little bit of Italian herb seasonings. So there's lots of ways to do it. If you want, you can get like a big plastic bag. Although they're so expensive these days, you probably want to kind of save that for something else. So I've got a rolling pin and I have got kind of like a cutting board here. So I'm just gonna go slow. It's gonna kind of go slow here with the rolling pin. And again, it depends on how small you want these panko crumbs to be. Like how, you know, again, I can really kind of make these finely rolled. And also I could put these like in a food, like I could put a lot of it in a food processor and do it that way. But what would be the fun in that? But you can do that if you want to do that. But that's not a lot of fun. You know, if you've got any kind of aggression, just roll it out on these panko crumbs. Now you've seen me do this before with graham crackers, and I always say if you don't have any crust in your, like any kind of pie crust in your house, a graham cracker crust in a pinch is your best friend. Also, they're also good, the graham crackers, putting them, like lining desserts with them. Like if you've got something like some applesauce, some pudding, maybe you just have some fruit that you've cut up or something like that. Maybe you know, put it on the stove, turn it into a compote. Graham cracker, it's just going to give it the finishing kind of touch. Whether you put it on the bottom of the dessert and then just like sprinkle a little bit on top. That's why I really like having graham crackers. I keep them in the house because they can be all kinds of desserts. But right now we are focusing on these white cheddar crackers that I have. Again, I'm just kind of getting these kind of small. They don't have to, I don't have to make these super, super fine. Because what I'm going to use for these, I'm not going to use this for the crust on like baked chicken, although you could do that. You could do it. I'd season a little bit more though. But this is going to be for salads because I have, you know, some salad fixings. I'm not going to make the salad tonight because I've already eaten for the evening. And sometimes with salad, if you don't eat it the same night, it doesn't turn out as well. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do that. But I thought, you know, why not give you guys behind the scenes of the panko crumbs right here. Just a little bit more because these are kind of big. And it might not have to be super fine, but I do want them to kind of like not be like huge, big chunks of it. So, okay, that is done. So I will just take, let's see, what do I have here? Let's take a spoon right here. Get this off of here, a little bit on here, and I will put this in a bowl, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in a bowl to take pictures, so you guys can see a picture of like the finished product. So I'm going to put it in a bowl like this, because this is not a very, well actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'll do it in a bowl like this so you can really kind of see, you know, what's going on. And I did not measure, oh wow, this is a lot in here. I didn't measure how much this is, but I'm like kind of guessing. I think it's like maybe a third of a cup. I'm eyeballing it here. But so this will probably last me probably for a couple of salads. Well, maybe like 3 salads. So I will kind of put this in here and I can either wrap it up, or I've got like some small sandwich bags that I could wrap this whole, just put the sandwich bag around the bowl instead of putting it into the actual bag. Let's see here, I just want to, it's kind of small. I'm like, these are kind of small and I don't want to waste, like I'm not wasting anything. So let's do this right here. Yeah, y'all, food prices, they are out of this world. And you know, the Panko that I usually get, I noticed in the past couple years, it just started going, it started skyrocketing a little bit. And so I was like, you know what, that just kind of like made me a little irritated. But then I thought, hello, Miss Patty. Then I thought, you know, why am I getting irritated when I know how to do things, okay? When I had those grandmas and parents that taught me how to do things. Sometimes, you know, problem solving is always the answer, especially if you're a Gen X person and you were like kind of born just figuring stuff out, right? Okay. I will take a picture of this. So you'll see how fine I was able to kind of roll this down. So I'll move this out of the way. All of it out of the way, actually. Gosh, I have a lot of stuff to move out of the way. Okay. And then next, we will go and do the kind of the cherry vanilla mocktail situation. So it's going to be like a lemonade. And let's see here. And this is another one of my, this is half a teaspoon. I think that's all we're going to need. This is another one of my mocktails that I will use, that I've used before. Whoops. Sorry, I've just got gravity happening off camera. Okay. This is one of the things that I have done. I've done this before, but I've never done it with, I don't think I've done it with lemonade. I think it was just a straight kind of like cherry vanilla situation. And let me go ahead and get, no, I don't think I need, I'm like looking around. I don't think I need a bowl for this because I can just put it right in. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to start with this. Now this is like a, this right here, it is sugar-free. So it's a sugar-free pack because anytime I do this, I try not to like have additional sugar whenever possible. Get that off the way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Just kind of put it in there. That whole kind of thing goes in there like that. Then I'm going to put about, I'm going to put a cup of lemon juice in here. Now, if you want to, and if you're feeling fancy, you can put like some sugar in there, but I'm not going to do that because again, I ate enough sugar, okay? A donut hates to see me coming, so I already have enough sugar in my diet, so that's why I'm not adding additional sugar. I'll keep it kind of like on the tart side. So I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of the vanilla right here. Now, if you want to get super, super fancy and you kind of want to make it like, give it more of like a creamy kind of like ice creamy kind of feel, you could put in some whipped cream in here just to, and I might do that. You know what? Why not? Why not? Just put a little whipped cream in here. And I think this, oh, I've got a little third of a cup right here. Well, no, it's not. I feel like that's a little too much. Let's see here. Let's see if I can, if I have got, okay, I've got a tablespoon. So I'm going to do like a tablespoon in here because I don't want it to be all whipped cream. Just like a little bit, just like the essence of the whipped cream here. Hang on. Essence of the whipped cream. We just want the essence of it, not the whole kind of whipped cream situation. Okay, just going to move this out of the way. Put this in here so I do not forget to put it back in here because, you know, that would be very sad for me because I do love whipped cream. Okay. More. Put that in there. Okay. Now, this is one of those little, like, pulsing blenders. Like, it does not have a control per se. Like, it's not like, oh, you can put it on this little thing. You hit that button and it's time to go. Okay, so we're just going to pulse a little bit of this. Okay. Now, that has given it kind of like a cherry little drink. I'm trying to think how big of a glass. You know what? Let's see if I can just put it in a mason jar here. Let's just do a mason jar. I'm going to unplug this because I don't want it to hit that pulsing thing. And then I've got a whole other problem to deal with. Okay. This reminds me of that. Remember that pink Nesquik stuff? That's what it looks like. I don't think it's going to taste like that, but that's definitely what it looks like. Okay, and then when I do this, when I take a picture of this, what I will do is I'm actually going to add I could add a little bit of mint in there. See what's going on there, just like at the top. Just do that at the top. Just looking for a straw, and here's a straw. So just want to take a little tiny, just a little tiny taste of this, see what's going on. And if it doesn't taste good, you guys, my face will show all emotions, okay? This is so tart, but it's so tart in the best way. Oh my gosh, so good. So I'm gonna add, when I put this on, like when I put it on TikTok, and I'll also, if you're on my personal Facebook page, I also take pictures. You guys are actually the first people to get the pictures of, you know, what I made and all that stuff. So I'm gonna add a little mint here, because I think that that's gonna also kind of, you know, give it like a little bit of add another flavor dimension there. So I'm excited about that. If you were into alcohol, you could probably add like a note, if you wanted to add like a little note of vodka or gin, or even like a little bit of, if you want to do kind of like a little boozy spritzer or something like that, you could probably add a little Prosecco in here. So yeah, that's actually really good. And again, I tend to like things a little bit more on the tart side, and this is definitely very tart, to say the least. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back because I realized what I forgot to do is I forgot to mix the panko. So we're gonna go all the way back to the first little mini segment that I did. And let's mix this panko up with these other flavors. Now again, this is a cheddar, this is like a white cheddar. So if you just want the white cheddar, that's totally fine. I definitely recommend doing something with a cracker that you like, or if you just got some plain crackers, that would work too. Let's see here. You know what? I'm just gonna eyeball this because I feel like a half a tablespoon. So let's just say, let's start with that's like a half a teaspoon, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of put some in here like that. Like that. So again, I'm just kind of doing this so that's got the lemon pepper in it. And then we're gonna add probably like a half teaspoon of the garlic herb. Now that's just all herbs. So we're gonna add another, sorry, like all the seasonings. Let's go ahead, just like one more little sip here. Okay. So that's what I have. And again, this kind of flavors the panko a little bit more, but you don't have to do that. If you're okay with like the white cheddar, because I use white cheddar crackers for this, that's totally fine too. This is just gonna go on top of my salad, and I just like kind of mixed a little bit in there for you so you can kind of see. And there you go. That's all I have. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have more information, if you want more information, AuntLady'sKitchen.com. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram as well. Thanks so much for all your support. Take care. Goodbye.